What's up, Megiddo family? Welcome to my home, my studio. Today I just wanted to get together and give you a little album update for what I've been up to. I've gone through a ton of life change over the past year. As you've seen, I haven't put out a ton of music, but I am super excited because I am working on a full-length album right now and released a single this past week. And super excited about that. Go check it out on Spotify. It's called Revolution, and it's one of the first tracks of the album. And just wanted to give you a little update of what the album's about, and kind of give you a little update of what's been happening with me. First off, I just wanted to say that this album is just me being real, and just me being real raw and vulnerable with my audience. And it's really about time. The whole album is about time and how time affects someone, whether that's in a godly way or that's in a worldly way, in terms of stress and what stress does to somebody in terms of time. As an artist, a lot of times I battle the feeling of getting too old and then not being cool enough, and then the thought of, oh, I'm not putting out enough music, and then I'm getting, I'm not going to be relevant if I don't keep putting out tracks. And I battle these thoughts constantly. I guess it's just part of being an artist, of wanting to release stuff, and especially in our culture where everything is all about more, give me something new, and it's in one ear and out the other within a matter of seconds. And so as an artist, I really struggle with that in terms of releasing stuff in a godly way, and not feeling stressed out, and allowing time and the pressures of time to affect me. And so really the album is kind of like my journey over the past year. I've had a lot of life change, whether it's me moving houses, which I've done recently, and I built this studio. We moved into a new home. We renovated. We had a baby in 2015, was his first year of his life. Judah is his name, and awesome addition to my life. And then I also, personally, I work a full-time job as well. I'm a commercial banker, and so I work 8 to 5, and then I spend time with my family from 5 to 8, and then from 8 to 12 at night I tend to be in the studio, and I'm able to produce. And so that short amount of time, paired with that daytime thing, and I've had a lot of transition with that that can really take its toll on somebody, with when you're in a new job, and then you've got a new baby and a new house, and you're trying to sell your house and buy your house, and renovate, and trying to make time for your family, which is super important. And so with that, I really had to take a step back from music for a time. It was just the season of my life, and through that, it was just the emotions of feeling like I'm not stepping into what I'm doing, and I'm gonna fall behind, and all these worldly thoughts of how time was affecting me. And then God had to remind me, almost like the psalm where David's like, oh my gosh, everything is terrible, and then all of a sudden he remembers, oh, but God. And that really is what this album is about. It's a but God moment, where you're like, oh yeah, God's in control, Jesus is in control. And you realize that in the middle of the album, it kind of starts off where you're like, yes, I can do this all on my own, and then it kind of goes into a song where there's this feeling of, but is anybody listening to me? Is the sound that I'm making even relevant? Is anybody even hearing what I'm saying? Am I just shouting in a room by myself? Because a lot of times that's what it feels like when you're in a studio by yourself for hours. You feel like you're just shouting into the air, and you don't know if anybody's listening to you or not. And so as an artist, that's just something we kind of struggle with. It's not every day that you have somebody come and encourage you, saying, hey, I love what you're doing, keep doing it. It's just something like within you have to be called to do it. And I do feel called to release this music. I feel called to put out a godly sound of of EDM, something that's filled with truth and filled with life, and that's just something I'm really passionate about, and I want to do something for this generation that's so passionate about high energy, and I think God is all about that. I think He is all about dancing before Him, just like King David did, and so I've always had a passion for that. And so this album is kind of just me kind of just being vulnerable with you guys, and just kind of expressing that in all these life situations that have come my way, whether it's my work, or my family, or the additions to my family, or the changing of locations for me, and all that happening at one time is it has its toll on somebody, and the waves of the world has its toll on somebody, and that stress can cause godly emotion, and it can cause worldly emotion, and it's whatever you choose. You've got to choose what path you want to choose that day. It's a daily thing. And so some days I choose to remember God, and some days I forget that God's in control, and I fall into like worldly thoughts of like, oh gosh, no one's listening to what I'm doing, and is this really making a difference? And it is when God puts something in you, and it doesn't matter what someone's reaction is, you're just called to do it. And that's what I feel in my heart. I feel like I can't stop. I can't stop making this sound. I've got just a sound within me, and I've got to get it out. And that's really how I feel, and it's that urgency. And I think that it's a godly urgency, and it just sometimes you feel like it's a worldly urgency because of our culture, but it's a godly urgency because the time is short that we have here on earth. Kind of like my new single is all about starting a revolution, a godly revolution, and one flash and you're done. You're here today, gone tomorrow, and what you do with your life, kind of like the Gladiator quote, echoes in eternity. And so yeah, I want to make a sound that resonates within the earth. Kind of how David said, will the dust cry out to you, Lord? And that's really my heart is to make a sound that's pleasing upon the earth, that He would hear, and that it would be pleasing to His ears. And that also, I've always been an encourager of the body of Christ, and really that's just something I'm really passionate about, is making music to encourage and exhort and empower you. And that's just something that I've always had passionate upon my heart. And I'm super excited because this new album that I'm working on is just so filled with life, and I'm working with some amazing artists, and I can't wait to share with you. You may have seen some snippets on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or something like that. But yeah, I'm super excited to share with you these individuals that I'm working with. They're incredible people. I've scouted them out throughout the earth, from the UK to places in the US to places in South America and Europe. I'm super excited to share with you these individuals because I think they have just an incredible gift, and I'm excited to partner with them to make something wonderful to bring to you to encourage you. So this was just a little update. I'm about 12 tracks into the album, 12 demos really. I'm just gonna keep making these demos. I'm gonna guess that I might have a full length release maybe in the first quarter of 2017, maybe towards the end of that. No promises yet, because I want to make something that can stand the test of time for you guys. I don't want to just throw something out just to throw something out. So I'm super excited, and thanks for listening, and thanks for being a part of this, and I really appreciate all of your support throughout these years. And yeah, I'm Megiddo, and thanks for stopping by.